Guys, do you know that there are some NSAS protesters, that is, people who protested during the NSAS protest, who are still in prison as we speak? In fact, they are being held for felony. Your question might be, how does protesting amount to felony? Does the two even have any relationship? Anyway, that's not even why we are here. Not only are these NSAS protesters held for felony, these NSAS protesters are minors. These people are minors from the age of 14, 15, 16. And yesterday, one of these kids, I will call them kids because they are young people who should be in secondary school. One of them fainted yesterday in court, just as the judge was about to give uh, the sentence. You can imagine. Not only these people have been held for months. In fact, 80 days according to Deji Adeyanju. Now everybody has reacted since the report yesterday. Now this is not the first time that the media is getting to find out that there are some NSAS protesters still in custody. I have said this countless times that this administration has the characteristics of a military regime, a military era. How do you hold people just because they came out to protest? How is that tantamount to felony? By the way, these kids are just young people. I bet you that if you ask these kids for the definition of felony, most of them would not even know it. Minors, minors are organizing coup against the government. How is that? How does that even sound to Tinubu? How does that even sound to the federal government? I'm just here thinking, gosh, Nigeria, what did they happen? What did they happen? These people are just young kids, young children who happen to just, saw that people are protesting and they joined in to protest against bad governance. Tell me if that is even bad and you are holding them for felony, children that do not even know the meaning of felony. Children that do not even know the meaning of felony, you are trying to tell us that these children are trying to organize coup against your government. How is that possible? But anyway, just as usual, if Nigerians do not come out to cry, if Nigerians do not come out to, organize themselves in one voice to speak against something, the federal government of Nigeria would never do something about it. But anyway, the president, Tinubu, has ordered the attorney general, to review the treason charges against these minors. Before we delve right into the details of today's news, if this is your first time here, or you haven't subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. It will benefit you to be a member of this community. Please also click on the like button. That way we're encouraged to put out more reliable and authentic news. Lastly, please leave your opinions in the comments section. Following global outrage and condemnation, President Bola Tinubu has directed the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, to review the case of minors charged with terrorism and attempts to overthrow the government. The minors, 5 of whom collapsed in court during arraignment, were arrested and facing trial over their involvement in the End Bad Governance protest. The minors, who had been detained in custody for several weeks, showed visible signs of ill health and their condition reportedly deteriorated during the court proceedings, prompting immediate medical intervention. The presidential directive comes after intense pressure from human rights organizations, international bodies, and Nigerian citizens who have been vocal about not only the trial of the minors, but also their physical condition when they appeared in court yesterday. The review is expected to ensure that the minors receive a fair trial, taking into account their age and rights, and ultimately their release. So the sense of the judge that is in charge of this case did not tell the medulla oblongata. I'm so pained by this situation because, why? Why do people have to be treated this way? All because they are poor and they cannot afford a good lawyer. Like how? Didn't the judge know that he should put all of that into account? The age, the age and everything. How can you tell me, on earth are you able to prove that 15-year-old, 16-year-old are planning to overthrow the federal government? I don't understand. Like how? How? How would your sense not tell you if this wasn't even, a plan to use these innocent kids as an example to people that might want to protest in the future? I think that the federal government is just using these children, to serve as an example to other people that might want to protest for, future costs that if you protest, you might end up like these children. That is just the message that the federal government wants to pass across, and this just happens to backfire. Jesus. It's just so sad the kind of, country that will find ourselves, that human rights means nothing. Human rights means nothing. And it's not like Nigeria has a juvenile prison that these children are going to be put. It means that if these children ends up going to prison for felony, their life has been cut short. They will come out worse than they were, which means they will be influenced. I bet it with you 100% that when they come out of a Nigerian prison, their life would never remain the same. That is negatively. You want to just ruin the life of these minors, these innocent children, all for what? All for what? Your children are at home sleeping. I think that, first of all, it's high time for judicial overhaul in this country. Our judicial system is a mess. There's nothing you can tell me. This former senator who was defeated on the second term bid, the one that was caught in a sex toy shop and, slapped a woman at the sex toy shop. I've forgotten his name now, but I know you all can remember him just by the description. He said like a few days ago that, when he was fighting on his second term return to the Senate, a judge, that was handling the case sent a man to him. The man came with his wife, to collect money on behalf of the judge, to collect bribe. And according to him, he refused to give the man money, which is why he lost the case in court. So probably the other person was able to settle the judge. So the person who was able to pay, who was able to bribe, won the case. That is the kind of country we find ourselves. You will be hearing senseless court judgments and you think that, Jesus. According to Fubara, the thing is, God has made you, that is the judges, the judge on earth. But when you get to heaven, you will surely meet your nemesis. You will surely pay for everything you are doing on earth. As a judge in Nigeria, because you have the fate of people in your hands, you decide to collect bribe and just give nonsense judgments. God is watching you, according to Fubara. You all, what do you have to say to this? I would love to hear from you. Please leave your comments and opinions in the comment section. Thank you very much for always listening and watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.